All right, this is the Microsoft Power BI Lab Time Intelligence and Measured in DAX. And I clicked on the Launch Lab button and also the Start Lab button. And in a couple of minutes, that fired up this lab. So I'm going to click to download the files to the D drive. And I'm going to click Fit Window to Machine as directed in the instructions. So if you have feedback that's not related to the scalable platform, you can click on Docs, Microsoft, ENUS Learn Certifications, Certification and Training Help. That might possibly come in handy sometime. I don't know. I'll just copy that. And that. All right, and we'll return to the lab. All right, and so those files the files for the lab have been successfully copied from GitLab to the D drive of this virtual machine. We've got our success message, so now we can click Next. Create DAX calculations in Power BI Desktop, Part 2. The time estimated to complete this lab is 45 minutes. In this lab, you'll create measures with DAX expressions involving filter content manipulation. In this lab, you learn how to use the calculate function to manipulate filter context and use time intelligence functions. Lab story. This lab is this is one of many in a series of labs that was designed as a complete story from dashboard preparation to publication as reports and dashboards. You can complete the labs in any order. However, if you intend to work through multiple labs, for the first 10 labs, we suggest you do them in the following order. We're on number 6, create DAX calculations in Power BI Desktop, Part 2. Exercise 1, work with filter content. In this exercise, you will create measures with DAX expressions involving filter content manipulation. Task 1, as always, is get started. In this task, you will set up the environment for the lab. Important, if you are continuing on from the previous lab and you completed that lab successfully, do not complete this task. Instead, continue from the next task. To open the Power BI Desktop on the taskbar, click the Microsoft Power BI Desktop shortcut. Click Get Started, and we'll X out of the email address. All right, to open the source, we will click on Open and Open Report, Browse Reports. And we'll go to this PC, the D drive, DA100, and then the labs, and then 06, create DAX calculations in Power BI Desktop Advanced, and Starter. We'll click on Sales Analysis and then click Open. All right, to create a copy of the file, we'll click on the File ribbon tab and then choose Save As. We'll go to D and DA100, My Solution, and save. That was task number 1. We're on to task number 2, create a matrix visual. In this task, you will create a matrix visual to support testing your new measures. In Power BI Desktop, in Report View, create a new report page. Report View. I'm going to move that over. Down. Oh, we already have 2 pages. I guess we need a page 3. Yes. Okay. On page 3, add a matrix visual. You mouse over the matrix. Click on it, and we have a matrix visual. Resize the matrix visual to fill the entire page. I'll try. Let's see, go to view, page view, actual size. It looks good. To configure the matrix visual fields from the fields pane, drag regions, and drop it inside the visual. Okay. The labs use a shorthand notation to reference a field or hierarchy. It will look like this: region pipe regions. In this example, region is the table name and regions is the hierarchy name. I'll add also the sales pipe sales field. To expand the entire hierarchy, at the top right of the matrix visual, click the forked double arrow icon twice. And mine's at the bottom, but there's the forked double arrow. And if we mouse over it, it says expand all down one level in the hierarchy. So it says click double forked arrow icon twice. So 1 and 2. Boom. Let's give that some more space. That's not quite how I wanted to give it more space. I wanted to be able to see the whole thing. I didn't quite manage that. Rats. Oh. Okay. What am I doing? Maybe I should quit while I'm ahead there. Okay. I will quit now. Here we go. Okay. You may recall that the regions hierarchy has the levels group, country, and region. Group, country, and region. North America, United States, and regions. To format the visual beneath the visualizations, beneath the visualizations pane, select the format pane. Is that this? Format. Yes, the paint roller. In the search box, enter stepped. S-T-E-P-D. Stepped. That didn't really do anything. Capital stepped. Didn't find anything. Formatting options are not found. That's wild. Layout. Wow. This is the correct search box because it's got this fields thing and this format is selected, but it did not go for that. What about row headers? Wow, page size, page background, page alignment, filter pane, filter cards. Wow. Filters. That is wild. I do not see that. Stepped. Layout. Mobile layout. That did not help. Is curious. All right, I'll try opening a new tab and search on Power BI stepped layout. Oh, maybe I need to be clicking on the table. Could that have been it? Oh, that could definitely be it. All right. S-T-E-P-P-E-D. All right, that was definitely different. All right, change that to off. Verify that the matrix visual now has 4 column headers. Let's see. See group, country, region. I don't see a 4th column header. Nope. Group, country, region, and something. Nope, that didn't do it. Why not include sales when I was supposed to? I need to add sales. Okay. Also add sales. Maybe I should make some space for sales, or try to anyway. Ooh, I don't know if that made things better or not. It doesn't look like they did. Still drag this and add it. Darn it. All right, sales. It does not want to be dragged. Can I drag anything else? Like, oh, don't want, oh, that's probably what I was doing wrong. I was trying to drag the table and not the sales table, not the sales field. Okay. All right. Now I can verify. Oops, I have 2 of those. So can I remove this one? What do I need to do? If I uncheck it and try again. Boop. All right. Scroll up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Group, country, region, sales. At long last, at last, I have the 4 columns. Okay, and it looks like the picture provided by Microsoft. So that's good. All right, at AdventureWorks, sales regions are organized into groups, countries, and regions. All countries except the United States have just one region, which is named after the country. As the United States is such a large territory, it is divided into 5 sales regions. You'll create several measures in this exercise and then test them by adding them to the matrix visual. All right, that was the end of task 2. On to task 3. Task 3 is manipulate the filter content. In this task, you'll create several measures with DAX expressions that use the calculate function to manipulate their content. Add a measure to the sales table based on the following expression. I will minimize that and get it from the snippets folder. Minimize Power BI. I will scroll down to File Explorer. I'll go to D and DA100 and I think I want labs, and I think I'm on 6. Yes, 6. Create DAX calculations in Power BI Desktop Advanced and Assets. And I'll double click to open the snippets file in Notepad, and I'll copy sales all region measure definition. Click copy, click on Power BI. And then this is a measure on the sales table. So I'll mouse over sales, right click, I'll scroll up and choose new measure. I'll hit backspace and I'll do Control V to paste in the formula I copied from the snippets file to calculate a sales all region. Enter to add that. And in the sales table, I can see the sales all region value, calculated measure that I created. All right, the calculated function is a powerful function used to manipulate the filter context. The first argument takes an expression or a measure. A measure is just a named expression. Subsequent arguments allow modifying the filter content. The remove filters function removes active filters. It can take either no arguments or a table or a column or multiple columns as its argument. In this formula, the measure evaluates the sum of the sales column in a modified filter context, which removes any filters applied to the columns at the region table. Add the sales all region measure to the matrix visual. Okay, I'm going to run out of real estate on this, I think, but keep going until I do. All right, I can also close up visualizations and then I'll have more space. All right, there's the sales all region, and I notice that it has all the same value. Okay, how can you not notice that? Notice that the sales all region measure computes the total of all region sales for each region, country, subtotal, and group subtotal. The new measure is yet to deliver a useful result. When the sales for a group, country, or region is divided by this value, it will produce a useful ratio known as percent of grand total. In the fields pane, ensure that the sales all region method is selected. When it's selected, it'll have a dark gray background. And then in the formula bar, where's the formula bar? Replace the name and formula with the following formula. Tip: to replace the existing formula, first copy the snippet. Can I copy it from there? Maybe. Control C, I don't know. I'm going to go to this. So I feel more confident that I can copy from the notepad document. Control C. All right, I'll go back to Power BI. Click inside the formula bar. Okay. And then press Control A to select all the text. Whoa, what did I do? Let me check that again. Okay, so it's dark gray, so it's selected. I click in here. I'm going to hit Control A to select all of that and Control V to paste in my new formula for sales percent all region, which is divide the sum of sales, calculate the sum of sales, remove filters on region. And I'll press enter. Woo! I'm going to close that up a little bit. Wow, that has many decimals. This measure has been renamed to accurately reflect the updated formula. The divide function divides the sales measure, not modified by filter context, by the sales measure in a modified context, which removes any filters applied to the region table. In the matrix visual, notice that the measure has been renamed. Just mouse up. I don't see that. How can I mouse up? I'll have to unselect. Yes, so it does not show. Okay, now it is. I can see that it's been renamed, and that different values now appear for each group, country, and region. Yeah, they do have different values. I mean, France is the same for the total. I guess Germany is the same for each total. United Kingdom the same. For United States, there indeed are different values for the different regions. Format the sales percent all region measure as a percentage with 2 decimal places. All right, let's try that. Woo. Let's close up properties and let's try reducing that size a bit. And where is that? What we created? I don't see it. I thought I created that on, yeah, I thought I created that on the sales table. Okay, there it is. Boom. All right, properties. Personal region. Formatting. We'll make it a percentage. And Yes. Give it 2 decimal places. Yes, 2 decimal places is what I want. Good. In the matrix visual, review the measure. See how it looks now. Oh, much better. Much easier to read. Nice. All right. These are duplicated. I'm going to open this in a browser just so I can see if they have the duplicates. Yes, they do. Okay, that's good to know. All right. Add another measure to the sales table based upon the following expression and format as a percentage. This is sales percent country, so I'll go to the notepad document. Select this and copy. And then I'll go back to Power BI. And this is also going to be on the sales table. So I'll mouse over sales, right click, scroll up and choose new measure. And we'll do Control V to copy in my new formula for sales percent country, which we divide the sum of sales and calculate the sum of sales and remove filters on region. And I'll hit enter. And I'll minimize that. Create my new value. Can't really see. I'll have to mouse off of that. Whoa, what have I done? Maybe I'll mouse there. Okay. Oh, I haven't added it to the table yet, to the visualization, but that'll probably be the next step, right? Notice that sales percent country measure differs slightly from the sales percent all region measures formula. The difference is that the denominator modifies the filter context by removing filters on the region column of the region table, not all columns of the region table. It means that any filters applied to the group or country are preserved. It'll achieve a result that represents the sales of a percentage of a country. Add the sales percent country to the matrix. All right. Let's mouse up. Wow, 1%. All right. Oh, you may recall that only the United States has multiple regions. All other countries comprise a single region, which is why they are all 100%. Copy that link and paste it into a browser. Yeah, I think I want to I think that'd be nicer if it were like multiplied by 100 or something. So I don't here and sales percentile region. Where's the new one I created? I don't see it. All right, it doesn't seem to want to extend further, any further downwards. So I'll try that. Okay, there's percent country. And format will be percent. And let's try that. Yeah. Okay. We do 2 decimal places on that one or not? Yes, we did. All right. All right, let's go. To improve the readability of this measure in visual, overwrite the sales country measure with this improved formula. Let's go back to this. Sales percent country, measure definition 2. Copy it. Go back to Power BI. click on sales measure in dark gray to highlight it. And we'll do a Control A to select all of that, and Control V to copy over with our new and improved formula, and hit Enter to apply it. And then I will click on something else so I can see that. Okay. So that is a nicer way to approach that, because there's only one value per country. Very good. Okay. Embedded within the if function is the isInScope function, is used to test whether the region column is the level in a hierarchy of levels. When true, the divide function is evaluated. The absence of a false part means that blank is returned when the region column is not in scope. And that makes for a nicer looking table. I agree. Notice that the sales country measure is now only returns a value when a region is in scope. Yes. Cool. Add another measure to the sales table. They've got to be kidding. I think I'm running out of room pretty quickly. Okay, I'll try based on the following expression and format as a percentage. All right, so we'll scroll down, go to the notepad. Whoa, we'll get the sales percent group measure definition. I'm going to run out of space. Oh well, do our best. All right, so in the sales table, we'll right mouse over it, right click, and then click new measure. And then we'll hit Control V to use this formula for sales percent group, where we divide the sum of sales by the calculated field sum of the sales, removing the filters for region and country. And I'll hit Enter, create that field. And if I scroll down, I should be able to see that sales group field. I'll mouse off so I don't have to look at the thing, at the calculate the formula. Oh, and I was supposed to format it as a percentage. So go back to sales percent group, and we'll make it a percentage. And that looks good. So I'll scroll back up, go to the report view. To achieve sales as a percentage of group, two filters can be applied effectively to remove the filters on two columns. Add the sales percent group measure to the matrix visual. All right, I'll give it a try. See what happens. Oh, it made some more room. Perfect. Oops, nope, that is not what I wanted. Let's see. Can I remove that? What do I need to do to remove that? I forget. I'm so excited. All right, I'll unclick that. What happened? Oh. Select or drag fields to populate this visual. I'd like to just get rid of that. What do I need to do? Remove. All right, but it did give me some more space. So I'm going to try dragging it over before it changes its mind. No, that is not what I wanted. I'll just have to I want to get rid of it again. Remove. All right, well, what can I do? Can I put it, if I put it there, will that work? I don't know. All right, that seemed to go. I'll try to expand. There we go. Very nice. All right, to improve the readability, let's get a better table. Click on it to display the current formula. Go to Notepad file, and we'll get the new and improved formula, copy it, and do Control A to select that whole thing, and Control V to paste in our new formula. And this new formula has isInScope for region and isInScope for country. So it will not display an answer if it's not a region or a country. We'll hit enter to make that take effect. I will mouse off that so that I can see the report again. I'll scroll up and guess that's okay. All right, that's the result of the new and improved formula. Notice that the sales group measure, sales percent group measure now only returns a value when a region or country is in scope. Okay. In the model view, place 3 new measures into a display folder named ratios. All right, we'll go to model view. Let's click on these 3: sales percent all regions, sales country, and sales group. And we're going to call this display folder ratios. Did I get all of them? No, I did not get sales group, so I'll add that too. Working on it. Did I get everything? I think I did now. Sales percent all region, sales percent country, and sales group. I think those are all in ratios now. No, it does not have. It has sales all region, has sales percent country, but does not have sales percent group. I want it to be there also. All right, maybe like, what can I do about that? What do I need to modify this? Because it doesn't have percent group in there. Not sure how to fix that. Get rid of it. I don't know how to get rid of it. Rename. I'm going to call that ratios 2 because it only has 2 things. I'm going to try again on ratios. In control, got select all region, so select percent all region, select percent all country, and select percent group. It's still just showing the 2. And why is it doing that? I don't know. Under properties. I don't know. I'm not sure why I'm having an issue with that. I want to do something like drag it into ratios. Oh, did that work? It did. Oh, thank goodness. All right, I'm going to rename that ratios like it was supposed to be. Thank goodness for dragging and dropping. All right, that's closed now. But I'll open it up to show that it does have the 3. Does it have reseller key 2? No, it does not. Yeah, because reseller key is beneath ratios. Ratios does have the calculated fields of seller percent all region, sales percent all percent country, and sales percent group. All right, we'll save this. Save. The measures added to the sales table have modified filter context to achieve hierarchical navigation. Notice that the pattern to achieve the calculation of a subtotal requires removing some columns from the filter context, and to arrive at a grand total, all columns must be removed. All right, that was the end of exercise 1. On to exercise 2. Work with time intelligence. In this exercise, you'll create a sales year-to-date measure and sales year-over-year growth measure. Task 1, create a YTD measure, year-to-date measure. In this task, you'll create a sales year-to-date measure. In the report view, On page 2, notice the matrix visual that displays various measures with years and months grouped on the rows. Add a measure to the sales table based on the following expression and formatted to 0 decimal places. Go to Notepad, and that's pretty good. We'll go to sales, mouse over, right click, scroll up, choose new measure, and we'll call it sales YTD with total year to date, sum of sales, date, and the ending date will be June 30th, do their fiscal date. So I'll hit enter to add that, and then I'll mouse somewhere else, someplace else to get rid of that. I wonder if I could make that view a little bit larger. That seems nice. Okay. Oh, and I wanted to format that with 0 decimal places. So that means a whole number. We don't need salesperson region because I'm scooting it down to make more space. New columns. So sales year to date. We want to format that with 0 decimal spaces, so whole number. The total YTD function evaluates an expression, in this case, the sum of the sales column over a given date column. The date column must belong to a date table marked as a date table, as was done in the Create DAX calculations in Power BI Desktop Part 1 lab. The function can also take a third optional argument representing the last date of a year. The absence of this date means that December 31st is the last date of the year. For AdventureWorks, June in the last month of their year. June is the last month of their year, and so 6-30 is used. Add the sales field and the sales YTD measure to the matrix visual. All right, so where's sales? Probably right here. Looks good. And sales YTD also looks good. They look the same, in fact. Oh, you know, I did not make that a currency. So I should go back to the model. And instead of whole number, I should try currency and 0 decimal places. 0. All right. That's better. Okay. Probably should have figured that a sales value, sales year to date would be a currency value. All right, the total YTD function performs filter manipulation, specifically time filter manipulation. For example, to compute YTD sales for September 2017, the third month of the fiscal year, all filters on the date table are removed and replaced with a new filter of dates commencing at the beginning of the year, July 1, 2017, and extending through the last date of the in-context date period, which is September 30, 2017. Note that many time intelligence functions are available in DAX to support common time filter manipulations. And that was the end of task 1. Task 2 is to create a year-over-year growth measure. In this task, you'll create a sales year-over-year growth measure. Add an additional measure to sales table based on the following expression. I will go to the Notepad snippet file and I will copy the formula for sales year-over-year growth. return to Power BI, go to the sales table, mouse over the sales table, right click, scroll up to new measure, and then I'll paste in our formula, which I hope is okay. I hope I pasted that correctly. It looks correct. Looks like a match. Sales year-over-year growth is the variance in a variable where sales prior year is calculated as sum of sales for the parallel period from the date minus 12 months and return as sales prior year. I'll hit enter to make that take effect, and I'll mouse away so I can see my report. I said I would mouse away so I'd see my report. I don't know that anything happened. I'll try again. Okay. There is sales YOY growth. The sales YOY growth measure formula declares a variable. Variables can be useful for simplifying the formula logic and more efficient when an expression needs to be evaluated multiple times within the formula, which will be the case for the year-over-year growth logic. Variables are declared by a unique name. The measure expression must then be output after the return keyword. The sales prior year variable is assigned an expression which calculates the sum of the sales column in a modified context that uses the parallel period function to shift 12 months back from each date in filter context. Add the sales year-over-year growth measure to the matrix visual. I'm not sure how that's going to happen, but I'll give it a shot. Let's try that. And did it happen? Maybe it did. Yeah, it did. Is that okay? Oh, that makes sense. That the first year, there's not a previous year to look back on. So the first year is going to be blank because there's not a 12-month look back period. All right. So that's the value of the previous month. So I'm not sure if we're done with that yet. Notice the new measure returns blank for the first 12 months because there were no sales recorded before the fiscal year 2017. Notice that the sales year-over-year growth measure value for 2018 July is the sales value for 2017 July. Yeah, so it's just that previous year's value. Now that the quote-unquote difficult part of the formula has been tested, you can overwrite the measure with the final formula, which computes the growth result. To complete the measure, overwrite the sales year-over-year growth measure with this formula, formatting it as a percentage with 2 decimal places. All right, go back to the notepad file. This looks like the last formula. No, maybe it's not the last formula. Maybe I need to like shrink this down and just make sure. Ooh, that is not, okay, yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, I gotta see the whole thing. I want to see the whole thing. Okay. All right. Does it end with this closed parenthesis? I think it does. I think that's it. And I think that's the last formula in this notepad file. So I'll copy it. I'll return to Power BI, mouse over sales, right click, scroll up, select new measure. And I'll do Control V. Sales year-over-year growth is a variable called, let's start creating a variable called sales prior year with the calculation we made before, and it returns that value. And then we divide that returned value by the sales divided by the sum of the sales for this year minus the sales for prior year divided by the prior year. All right, now hit enter to have that take effect. Rename measure. Oh, it's already used. All right, why did that have an issue this time? I just want to like, oh, because I was hitting counts. All right, I'm gonna try that again. For some reason, I had like clicked on counts, and that was the reason why I was complaining. All right, now why is it going to counts? I think it's going to complain again that it already has the thing. Wow, what's going on? This is a sales thing. I don't think this is going to work any better because for some reason it's going to counts. What am I going to do? Why is this going to counts? Because I think it's going to complain that I already have something with that name. I don't know why that's happening. What else can I do? Counts. All right, I'm going to mouse away from that so I can see. Can I get rid of this? No. Can I take it back? I don't think so. Why can't I find it here any longer? It should be in sales. Sales. Counts. Oh, I want that. Measure 2. What has happened? This one. All right, what if I get rid of this one? Can I get rid of it? Oh boy. I'll just take it away. Can I get rid of this? Saying, I click delete from model. All right, maybe I can like, all right, all right, I've got that. I'm gonna Control A and Control V. All right, and that is it. So that should be my updated formula now. So I'll mouse away from it so I can see the table. And I deleted the sales year over year. So I'll drag it back. Okay, and I need to adjust formatting. We want it to be a percentage with 2 decimal places. So I'll go to model view. And can I see the year over year? Maybe. Year over year growth. All right, here's year over year growth. And we want that to be a percentage. And we want that percentage to have 2 decimal places, which it does. So let's go back to the report. And now we see that. We've got that. So good. And that looks to be a match. Yeah, it looks good. 392.83, 392.83. That's a match. Good. It means that July 2018 sales, 2,411,559, represents a nearly 400%, almost 4 times improvement over the sales achieved at the same time of the prior year, 489,328, right there. In model view, place the 2 new measures in a display folder named Time Intelligence. Go to model view. I could benefit from this being a little bit bigger. I can get away with that. And I want to select sales year over year growth and sales YTD. And I want to call this, where's my display folder? I want to call this Time Intelligence. That's good. in the time intelligence folder now. Now my favorite task, task 3, finish up. In this task, you will complete the lab. To clean up the solution ready for report development, at the bottom left, right-click the Page 2 tab. Right, go back to the report view. I'll go down to the Page 2 tab. I'll right-click it and then delete. Oh my gosh, I just made that thing. Really? All right, delete. Delete page 3 also. Why am I doing all these deletions, I wonder? On the remaining page, to clear the page, select the table visual and press the delete key. Wow. On the remaining page, we deleted that. All right, now save it. They've got to be kidding, but that's what they asked for. So I guess you have to know all kinds of things. All right, we saved it. If you intend to start the next lab, leave Power BI Desktop open. You'll create a report based on the data model in the design a report in Power BI Desktop Part 1 lab. Congratulations, you have successfully completed this module. To mark the lab as complete, click End. All right, I will stop recording. Thank you.